It happens. Uh, okay, this is the moment here that I personally was waiting to happen for years. And that is to give special recognition to a mentor of mine since, God, what, kindergarten? And I've seen her and her husband, Uncle Fred. They practically, raised me as far as guidance, as far as mentally, and not physically, but mentally, because at one time we had no identity. I mean, I was born brown. I lived in a black neighborhood, and I lived in a white society. It's almost like I wasn't Filipino enough to be accepted as a Filipino. I wasn't white enough to be accepted as white, and I wasn't black enough. So if I was that type of quandary was kind of like posed to a lot of my people, a lot of my neighbors, Filipino Americans living in Seattle. That's what that neighborhood was like. And through the work of Uncle Fred and Auntie Dorothy, they gave me a name. They gave me an identity. But she didn't just stop there. Then she founded FANHS. Not only do I have identity, now I have a history. And so when you start thinking about when was the term Filipino American used, and that was the consciousness back in 1971 with the Far West Convention. At one time, they used to spell Filipino American with a hyphen in there. But eventually, people are starting to catch on to the work of Uncle Fred and Auntie Dorothy. So, respectfully, we're going to honor Auntie Dorothy and Uncle Fred. And thank you guys for being here. And at this time, I'll turn it over to two of our speakers. We'll start off with Edwina, who was one of her first interns at FANHS. Go ahead, Edwina.
Hello again, everyone. This is a special part of the program. I just wanted to say, Auntie Dorothy, we first met like 46 years ago in 1979 when I was a very young person through my then boyfriend, now husband, Alan Bergano. I was honored to be on the writing team to publish the first book on the Filipino American experiences called Filipinos Forgotten Asian American. I was there when the academics did not think highly of this book. Let me think highly of this book because many of us did not have a PhD, but what we had was passion to tell our stories. Thank you for mentoring me and advising me in all my projects through the years, 46 years. It has been a pleasure to share the vision that you and Uncle Fred had taught us and bring this passion to the East Coast. I'll never forget you telling me that bring your enemies close because in the end, they will be your greatest supporter. I have used that advice in everything I do, and it's so true. And so it's my pleasure to introduce to everyone Julie Jamero, who we met 23 years ago at when she was 12 years old, to say a couple words to show you how the vision of our work goes beyond the next generation. Julie, you want to say something for a couple words? Julie Jamero.
Yes. Thank you so much, Edwina. Yeah, my name is Julie Hamora. I was born and raised in Hampton Roads, here in Virginia Beach, and Edwina, Doc, they were my mentors growing up. And I learned at an early age the power of knowing your history, the power of being in an intergenerational community. I joined FANHS Hampton Roads at 12 years old. I actually attended I was doing the math, and I attended my first conference at 11 years old in 2000 at the Virginia Wesleyan Conference. Some of you were there. You may have remembered me. I was a very tiny young Filipino girl tumbling through the halls. I was doing gymnastics at the time, but attended my first real conference when I was 15 at the 2004 conference in St. Louis. And those were the moments I had the fortunate opportunity to meet Auntie Dorothy and Uncle Fred. So in honoring Auntie Dorothy, I want to uplift how her lifelong commitment to the preservation, documentation, and amplification of our Filipino American history has left impacts that can be felt for generations. I'm certainly a testament to that. It's had a ripple effect that has contributed to future generations of community historians, academics, cultural workers, archivists, and even community organizers and activists like myself. Without the work of FANHS and the many mentors that I had growing up, like Edwina and Alan Bergano, who were mentored by Auntie Dorothy, and also another mentor I had, Ray Bispo. But also want to shout out the powerful Filipinas that I met that came to the South, that came to our little community here in Hampton Roads, like Auntie Joni and Auntie Emily. I truly would not be the community organizer that I am today. They helped me learn that at a young age. History is not just a passive thing that we learn for learning's sake, but it's an opportunity to change the course of history, to actually fight for more equality and justice for our people. So I do organize today with a few groups like the Malaya Movement, the Tango Migrante Movement, and the Hampton Roads Coalition for Filipino Seafarers. And it's very important at this time with the rise of anti-immigrant and anti-migrant attacks on our community to really fight for the unfolding legacy of history, to document these histories of our Filipinos in ICE detention, of seafarers who are being unjustly deported from Norfolk here. So once again, maraming salamat, Auntie Dorothy, for your lifelong legacy and the many generations you will continue to impact. And even we haven't worked so closely together, it's very clear through my mentors and hopefully the people that I'm working with and organizing that your legacy lives on through us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. My goodness. Woo. Thank you, Julie. Uh, at the last minute, I was trying to figure out, okay, who really understands and takes, not that takes advantage, but they have a major influence in their work. And so these next three speakers, they graciously took the time out to be here tonight. The first one I'd like to introduce to you is Dr. Luisa Igloria. She is the Virginia Poet Laureate, but she's famous. And trust me, if you read her bio, I don't have her bio in front of me, but it's pretty impressive. But I met Luisa was about 1997 when she first stepped foot in America. And eventually she's grown, and I think she told me she writes a poem a day, one poem a day. And she's over 10,000 now. So I asked her a favor if she could write a poem as far as what Auntie Dorothy means to her. So Luisa, take it over.
Thank you so much, Alan. I did not actually write a poem. Perhaps I misread the instruction, but I did spend time looking for poems that I feel will encapsulate the sentiments that everyone is bringing to the table here. First of all, I want to say that FANHS is my first introduction to the Filipino community here in Hampton Roads when I arrived 28 years ago to teach at Old Dominion. And thanks to Alan and Edwina, that circle has just continued to grow. And I also want to say that the legacy and the work of Auntie Dorothy and Uncle Fred is really so meaningful because it tells us that history is not a big abstract thing. It's made up of our stories on the ground, our lived experiences. And sometimes we forget the big picture for the small picture or vice versa, but we are very important in telling our stories. So I am going to read two short poems. They're related to each other. I wrote them sometime during the years that I was serving as Poet Laureate of Virginia from 2020 to 22. And I will put a link to one because it was published also in a journal. I'll read that first. It's called San Malo. And I mean, today is also October 18, which is the anniversary of the first Filipinos arriving in Morro Bay. But this poem is something that commemorates the arrival of Filipinos in Louisiana sometime in the 1760s. So I'll read this first, San Malo. No birds, no boats are visible on the water, which roils and foams as if an acreage of cotton rippled from a whip or a prod above and below. You could say it doesn't take much to feel how little influence we have in a world we once thought we could make our home. My people leaped ashore from the blue-black hold of a three-masted ship, sick of salt winds, aching for the remembered tenderness of bodies before they wore a harness or bent under cargoes of cotton and silk, amber, cassia bark. Never mind that the bruise from such a severance might not heal. Never mind that water, old sojourner, restless tenant, still winds through the centuries, through houses on stilts in the middle of an estuary before fanning back out to sea. And I'll read just one more poem. It's called simply America. Thank you, Alan. America, you were the cousin who joined a beauty contest the year before her visa application cleared so she could be a nurse somewhere in Rochester, New Jersey. She didn't think a roll of sheepskin inked with her name and St. Louis University would be enough. Soon after, she sent pictures of the doctor she would marry. America, we like to think there might have been love and not just a green card. We hear they're still together in their dotage. America, you were another cousin slowly dying from cancer, alone in an apartment in Maryland. I knew her only by name and the photographs she sent, her stylish bob, her cigarettes and drugstore-bought dark glasses. The patent leather Mary Jane she sent one Christmas, the walking doll with flaxen hair, white lace bib and pinafore, the vacant eyes that opened and closed and give me nightmares even now. And you were a certain smell before we even began to understand what you really were, synthetic and abnormally clean, like Clorox or Windex with a bottom note of soda left open in the sun. It wafted up from a box that took 2 months to ship from your flank or your hip or armpit. Wherever it was, people like us found neighborhoods where they could rent walk-ups, whose stairwells overflowed with steam from rice pots. America, we can shine and scrub your floors without a Hoover or a Roomba, then punch holes in the bottom of fruit cocktail cans so we can grow bird chilies and tomatoes on the veranda. We let a dentist in our old hometown pull out all our teeth so you wouldn't get the chance to do it and charge us triple. There is a fish we like to eat whose belly is soft and sweet and full of fat, but every bone in its body is a tree that bristles with more than a dozen spears. Like you, America, if we're not careful, we could choke on even the smallest mouthful. Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa. Yeah. Okay, before I continue, I I have to give Tino a shout out. This is probably one of the toughest sessions that he handled. We had so many speakers and he politely cut people off with passion. So props to you, Dr. Tino, president of Seattle chapter. You got a future, young man.
Appreciate you, Uncle. Appreciate you.
Okay. Hey, come on, you guys. Let's give him a hand. You know he did a great job. Come on. So our next speaker, he he was my next door neighbor. And I never knew the boy could write. I didn't know he could write. All I saw him do was read. Everywhere he went, he was reading. Even playing basketball, he'd be reading. But he not only writes, he's probably the most prolific second generation Filipino American author in the world. So I would like to introduce to you my brother, my next door neighbor, Peter Bacho.
Alan.
Hi, Dorothy. How you doing? I'm going to read this. This is an excerpt from Map 2, which is contained in my collection, Uncle Rico's Encore, about the community in Seattle that we were all raised in. And It's about Immaculate Conception, which we all know very well. The floors belong to Immaculate Conception Parish. Same with the Lunas, the Israels, the Galarosas, the Raguduses, the Delmas, the Ogilvies, the Farrells, the Villaflores, the Beltrans, and a long list of others. I stay in touch with many of them. Over the years, hundreds of Pinoys were baptized and confirmed in this dark Calvinist church. It's where many of us took our first communion and confessed our sins, where we joined in marriage and mourned our dead. Immaculate was also the spiritual home of the late Fred Cordova. He and his wife Dorothy are two Pinoy legends. They are also among the best human beings I have ever known. In 1957, they founded Filipino Youth Activities, which sponsored sports teams, classes on Filipino culture, deep discussions on Filipino history and identity. And in 1959, an award-winning drill team that more than 60 years later still rocks the show at Seattle's famed Torchlight Parade. As a kid, I loved attending the Torchlight and other summer parades. I loved watching the FYA drill team. I still do. Dot, dot, dot. Two quick beats followed by a pause third. These were the signature rhythmic sounds of the ends of bamboo sticks hitting pavement. Then came Fred's whistle, the clanging of a cowbell, and the pulsing Latin and moral drum beats of the percussioneers. The drill team was heard first, then seen. This has not changed. When they passed me, I was focused, excited. I loved the precision, the elegance, the head-tilting, jaw-jutting arrogance of the girls in their long red dresses, keeping time with their sticks, and the focus of the boys pounding beats in their black slacks and green tunics. I loved hearing the applause and whistles from onlookers. I loved hearing the oohs. I was proud of the drill team and all that it represented. When Fred died in 2014, the funeral at Immaculate was packed, standing room only, a fitting testament to his life. His death was a devastating loss to his family, but it was a loss to us as well. His body lay in an open casket. I bent over and kissed his forehead. Fred was wearing the jersey of his favorite Seahawk, Doug Baldwin, who was Filipino on his mother's side. Of course. I walked over to console Dorothy. Fred loved you, she whispered. I know, I loved him too. Later, I wrote to a friend. He made it easy for me to be a young Filipino in Seattle. I was not the only one. This is to you both.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Our next speaker is Emily Lawson. She was also an intern there with Auntie Dorothy. I remember sitting at the second FANHS conference in New Orleans, Louisiana. Seated with me was Emily, Joni, and Edwina. We looked around and said, God, we're the youngest people in here. And so, what, years later, we're like some of the oldest ones on this screen. But anyway, thank you, Emily, for showing up. She's what, you're in Los Angeles, or she's been traveling,
No.
but she took the time out to be here tonight. So,
Thank you.
Emily,
Today
go
I'm in
ahead.
Kirkland, but thank you. And thank you to Mono Peter for that beautiful piece. That's my favorite piece in Uncle Rico's Encore, of course. And thank you to Poet Laureate Luisa Gloria. I'm a big fan of both of them, so it's hard for me to follow. But before I read a poem, and I'll just have you know that Alan, dear Doc, asked us 2 days ago to do this. So bear with us. But first, I want to say thank you to Auntie Dorothy. Really, just from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Auntie Dorothy, for a lifetime of journeys around the world, starting with the FYA, the UW, and FANHS. I would not be where I am today without you and your guidance since I was 11 years old, and I'm eternally grateful to you for that. I wrote this poem 31 years ago. A lot of you may know it. It actually was 31 years ago. I was an infant. And it was inspired by Auntie Dorothy and my activist friends when I was living in LA. And it has become one of my trademark poems. And I rewrote it an hour ago in honor of Auntie. Y'all know what a diva is? Yeah, you will now. Diba, D-I-B as in babae, D-I-B-A in Filipino and Tagalog loosely translates to right, isn't it so? Y'all know, so sing along. This is rewritten from Mara is a diva to Auntie Dorothy is a diva. Diva. We call her Auntie D, as in Dorothy, or the lean back model move the Dorothea. Khalifa, head Pinay in charge, founder of our motherships, FYA, FWC, DPAA, and FANHS. Not aunt, but Auntie D, said all in one. She's the woman who defies us, US of a stereotype popularity, not a bubbling, babbling BIT of a Chiquita banana, yellow face, white bread mentality. But the Pinay's her story, that is reality. In totality, it ain't no wonder. She crushes the violent patronizing of Eurocentric history and flushes them down the toil. It's not enough. So she conquers Seattle streets, telling a wart-nosed cop that under municipal code number 2656, we can wage a massive protest, civil rights protest, provided she keeps us on the move. Auntie is a diva. So instead of walking us in your typical circles, she sends us in lightning moving suburbia spirals like tornadoes whipping unshielded storefronts. Auntie is a diva. Diva. She worked hard behind the scenes, ran a coffee shop on Broadway, then founded DPAA and FANHS, selling lumpia and t-shirts and managing the building to pay the rent. A throwback to her childhood at Immaculate when the nuns had her wiping the oil off the radiators and clapping erasers outside to pay her school tuition. Auntie, now at 93 years young, is a diva. Diva. She birthed 8 kids, raised and mentored thousands more during the Filipino American movement, but she is more than a WOMB, man. With her saber-like tongue, gleaming Ilocano skin, and Chaco eyes, she burns fire into the souls of Pinoy folk, making us look back at Pinay women legends of the U.S., not including Imelda, the crooked shoe queen, of course. So we studied Rufina Clemente Jenkins, who was stronger than Eve, the first war bride diva of all divas, who settled in Fort Lawton with her Buffalo Soldier and mixed race children at the turn of the 20th century. And Victoria Manalo Draves, her name meaning win-win, a 2-time gold medalist in diving at the 1948 Olympics, a real live woman warrior before Maxine Hong Kingston made it fiction. But Auntie is more than a teacher, diva. She's the mother of all lands that resist using our bodies as basis of war. She is like a book of ages and time that can't stand still. She is a roaring river who don't need to beg to be heard. She is the strong waves of her story, of our revelations, of our liberation. Auntie Dr. Dorothy Laigo Cordova is a diva. Yes.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat. Thank
feel
you for
that.
Go ahead,
everything.
I
Emily.
feel that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Okay, this next section is the actual award we're presenting to you, Auntie Dorothy. We're very, very fortunate to have Abe Manor and Ben Manor. And I really don't see, when you guys roll with me, everything's spontaneous. So I'm gonna leave it up to the Manors to figure out how we're gonna present this. So Ben, what do you think? You have Abe, do you have a picture of the award, and then Abe could describe it?
I believe Arnell has that. Arnell, can you put that on screen, please? I can't hear you.
We said, wait 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to be showing that. So give me 1 second and I'll show it.
Oh, you
Sure,
mean you
sure.
didn't get the text from?
They can hear you now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, let me first of all congratulate Auntie Dorothy, but more important, this is probably one of the best spent weekend that I can imagine in my years of FANHS, and that poem just took me off my feet. Emily, knowing you when you were just a young teenager chasing one of my Tamaral dancers at Mountain View High School. And I see Auntie Manang Rosita Lee, and we, unfortunately, technology hasn't caught up with her, so one day she'll be on time. And when Alan came to me, because I've been bitching, and I have for probably 20 years, of why have we not properly recognized and honored the two greatest folks in many of our lives, Uncle Fred and Auntie Dorothy. And he said, well, I don't know, maybe because we take them for granted. And I said, that ain't right. That ain't right. And so we need to, when we honor those who came before us. Well, they are the ones who have been for us. So then Alan jumped on me and said, okay, so how do we want to do this? Well, I got the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden, and, everybody's got that. I said, nah, we don't want to put an achievement on there. I said, let's give her what she has done to make us proud, and that's legacy. So that's when I recommended to Alan, let's call it the Lifetime Legacy Award. And of course, hopefully this can be perpetuity for those who deserve it, of those who serve FANHS. And so we went forward with that. And then the next day, my son, everybody knows him, Abi, sent me this. And he was having an art gallery show. You know him as a great artist and photographer. And he said, Dad, I don't know if you can see this. Where's that camera? Can you see it?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I could show it, Dad, because you
Okay.
have
Yeah.
Okay.
it.
Oh, yeah, there you
There you
go.
go. See, and so Threads of Our Roots. And he said to me, Dad, can you give maybe a description of what you think this is? I dug deep and I, looked at it. He's got Banig behind it. And I know that Banig has a very special part of our culture, as well as it has multiple meanings. And so he and I came up with what we think his thread of our roots are, and we said, let's translate it into this award. And I would like to have Abi to go ahead and read it as soon as you could see the award first, and then you could understand why. The design with the banig in the background, and then the plaque is more like a shape of a heart. And so symbolic of who our dear Auntie Dorothy is about. And man, if I could fit that poem that Emil and the professor from the Old Dominion, and could put that somewhere in those background of the Banig, I think it would be fulfilling.
Before you start, Ben.
Yeah.
Arnell does not have your picture of the award, so can you email that to him?
Yeah,
And then,
I never got it.
I sent it to Alan. I worked on,
Wait, before
Arnell is the tech guy.
before you elders, let me just do some Zoom etiquette.
Yeah, go ahead, Abraham.
Y'all could go on
send it.
mute and then chat each other, and we'll utilize this time correctly. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Abe Minor. Hi, Auntie Dorothy, and everyone here for organizing this and being present. Doc hit me up this morning as I was stepping out to go to an action, a No Kings action. And I said, Doc, I might not make it home, so I don't even know if I could attend this. And he said, well, just don't get arrested. And, I know how to not get arrested. So I said, okay, well, I will do my best to make it on the call. I never drive when I go to an action in case I ever do get arrested. I don't want my car being left anywhere, so I usually take public transportation or walk. And I was literally running in our hot weather, 78 degrees, to be here for you all and Auntie Dorothy. Real quick background. I liked how we had the timer for the other the presentations. Can you put the timer up so I could pay attention as an Ilocano? No. Um, but the thing behind threads of our
Told
root,
Ben to.
I've always wanted to do a all Filipino artists art show in the historic Pinoy town here in San Jose. And I collaborated with one of the Filipino-owned businesses, galleries in Pinoy town to host it. And so we had 25 artists. We were coming up with titles and a flyer idea. And I'll tell you this, the next generation are very creative, but they're depending a lot on AI to help uh, brainstorm their creativity. So they were coming up with these crazy images as far as a flyer idea, and it was all chat GPT generated. And I said, well, no, I'm going to just do something simple. We're going to take an image of a banig because threads of our roots could connect with the meaning behind the banig. So we hosted a 25 artist show, and I shared the image with my dad because I wanted to just get his first impression. And he didn't know. He wrote this whole thing up. I was just expecting a looks good, son, or yeah, that's great. But he wrote this whole description up, and I think this is definitely a testament and tribute to Auntie Dorothy as far as the impact and influence that Auntie Dorothy and Uncle Fred has not only on my father's life, but also my life. Uh, every time I do an art show, and it could, I don't know if you all might understand this, but a lot of times when I do things, it's not necessarily just community based because I like to include everyone and expose different types of folks who might not be connected to culture, history, or community, but they're Filipino. And I like to bring them in so then that way I can use the platform as a vehicle for education, right? And so every time I do something, fawns or anything that I'm involved with has a little bit of a seed in there. So then that way, whoever is touched or whoever's present um, is there at the time could take something away from it. And so definitely Fawns has done that. Dad, I see your face. Like I'm trying to buy you time right now. And everyone's gonna start falling asleep. It's already like nighttime in the East Coast, merienda time over here. But anyhow, Auntie Dorothy, the art show, even if it's not stating it's dedicated to you, the art show that I was able to host and curate was definitely a lot of your energy, your ideas, your inspirations, all the times that I've been able to have with you one to one. I'm so glad as I'm older now, I just take a trip up to Seattle and I'm saying, I'm going to go see Auntie Dorothy. Hey, Auntie Emily, are you around? Because I'm going to go see Auntie Dorothy. Hopefully I could kill, 20 million birds with one stone. Um, but all the times that you and I get to talk, like I take away from our conversations the importance of making sure to continue sharing, spreading, giving our history, our presence, our struggles, um, and the legacy that you and Uncle Fred and the community has been able to provide and give us. Dad, are you still, should I just hold I'm just going to hold this up and then that there's no struggle. So anyhow, my dad wrote this thing, sent it in text. I thought it was Chat GPT generated because it was that the writing was really good, and I was like, oh, I forgot, it's my dad. He knows technology, but maybe not that well. So I know he wrote it from the heart. And it took him about 4 hours to get back to me. I just wanted a yes or no. Is the design good? Yes or no? And then he sent this long not long, but he sent this long writing, and I included it in the show without telling him. Um, and Auntie Dorothy and Uncle Fred would get mad at me a lot of the times because I would never sign my artwork or I would never say anything. I just want to put it out there. And if it touches you, it touches you. And if you know it's me, great. If you don't, it's okay. The most important thing is it resonated. It stuck with you as you were there. But I put it in the art show as the description of the art show. And so, Dad, when you're ready to read,
I'm
I will put
trying.
this.
Arnell, send me your email because I'm having issues trying to email mine out.
So
Okay.
I have I found an old email that shows a video. Is that what you guys trying to get me to show?
No, it's just the image of the award.
Yeah, I emailed you already.
Oh,
My
you
email.
did?
Yep.
Okay. Let me get that.
All right, Dad. As a true professional, as you have taught me and groomed me, uh, I'm going to go ahead and read the
Go
description.
ahead. Go ahead.
So
Thank you.
again, threads of our roots. Um, and the background of threads of our roots is a banig. So this is the actual text that he sent me. So I sent him the image. Dad, what are your first thoughts when you see this design? I have some great responses and themes. Give me 30 minutes. 4 hours later. Abe, this is long, but this image and wording are thought-provoking. I hope these ideas work. This is a beautiful and invocative phrase. Pairing threads of our roots with a Philippine banig mat is an incredibly powerful combination. Here are my first thoughts, and then some suggestions to deepen the compelling feelings. First thoughts and impressions when I see threads of our roots against the backdrop of a banig, my mind immediately goes to these concepts. Tangible metaphor. The banig is the perfect physical embodiment of the phrase. It's not just a backdrop, it is the threads of roots made visible. Each strip of dried leaf, buri, pandan, is an individual story, a person, a single lineage. The act of weaving them together is the creation of family, community, and culture. Labor of love. A banig is not mass produced. It is hand woven with skill, patience, and intention passed down through generations. This connects the roots to the idea of ancestral knowledge, craftsmanship, and the hard work our forebears put into building a life for us. Community and foundation. The banig is a communal object. It's where families gather, sleep, eat, and tell stories. It is the literal foundation of Filipino homes' social space. It represents togetherness, humility, and the ground upon which we are raised. And that was from Beminor. We are dedicating that to Auntie Dorothy Laigo Cordova.
I think I have it now. I think I have
Dad,
it.
it's over. Arnell, it's good.
Yeah, either way. I appreciate it, guys.
So Dad, go ahead and close out so then your brain doesn't explode.
Well, thank you, son.
I shared it. Did you guys see it?
No, that's a,
No?
Arnell, you should got the latest because the first one that was shown only had Auntie Dorothy Cordova's name, and I forgot that Laigo needs to be part of it. So the
That
newer version.
Well,
Did you get that?
the good news is Auntie Dorothy's going to be has a special retirement dinner on the 30th of October.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be there, Auntie Dorothy, to present that to you specifically. So at this time, I'm going to leave it open to anybody that want to say, no, let me have Auntie Dorothy talk. She's been listening for the past 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure Auntie Dorothy would like to say a few words. So Auntie Dorothy, let's give her a hand. Come on, everybody.
Say
Okay,
something
Auntie
to them.
Dorothy, you've got the floor.
So anyway, at 93, I don't have a voice anymore. Mentally, I'm great. Physically, I'm disappearing. So, about the most I can say is thank you to all of you for your years of friendship and buying into some of the crazy ideas Fred and I may have had. You know, will it pass? But you didn't judge us that we were going down the wrong path. I think especially now, one thing I would like to say, because today is the big march against having a king in our country. And there's so many more things we could have said. We kind of wonder we're 501c3, but who cares, you know? A lot of what FANHS does, in fact, everything we do has been declared almost anti-American to some people in power. And I think whoever's left listening to this, they have to understand that. We started FANHS because the same thing was said again 42 years ago, but not as harshly as it is today. It was just called deconstructive. They weren't going to give any more money to women history and minority history. The only history worthwhile at that time was written by white men. Oh, that's about us. Well, yeah, really? And so we decided to go on it on our own, and that's why FANHS started. We were really grassroots. And because we were grassroots, we were able to gather the history of the people who were down there, the people who were foundation. But you know, you have to understand that foundations grow. So the next group of people who came with another set of foundations and foundation. You have to continue doing it, but don't forget the past. And so I thank all of you who believed in this, who continued the gathering, and people like me, so many people who started FANHS, bought into it 42 years ago, are no longer here. So faces I'm looking at right now, yeah, you, Emily, who started with me when you were 16, you are now the Manons. You're the history carriers, the sharers that's going to go on in the past. So gradually over this year, we will be passing the torch on to you. And we thank you for being with us. Okay, thank you.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is, I forgot we were recording this, so everything's gonna be sent out. So I'm gonna stop recording.
No,
and then
no,
we're going
no,
to,
Alan, no, please don't. This is very historic.
okay,
Yeah, you cannot.
you
The
have
voice,
something to say there, Mr. Manor?
I'm just pleased that when Alan and Edwina came up with this maniac idea, because we are all so busy, I realize now that everybody in FANHS should be on this call, number one, as well as NAFA, number two. And I hope that we can do this again because, as Auntie Dorothy has said to me many, many years ago, we have to share and share it to the next generations. Because if we don't, then we repeat history the way the white man has caused us to have be invisible. So, Alan, thank you very much, and please keep this recorded because those who are not here today, I would be out there protesting too, Auntie Dorothy, but I knew this was important for you, so I wanted to. There'll be another day to protest against the king, so this is a day for you. So thank you very much, Alan and Drina, and everybody else.
Yeah, and I think one of the main reasons I really wanted to do this is we need to recognize our heroes while they are still alive.
Yes.
You know, because it's you go to somebody dies, you go, dang, we forgot to die, blah, blah, blah. So, Auntie Dorothy, you caught us on the top of our game. You know, we're doing Zoom and the recording is going to be forever. Remember that, forever.
Yeah.
So anybody
Al-
want to say?
yeah. Oh, before Alan, I posted on the chat.
Okay.
Can everybody see the award?
Yeah, we posted it about 3 times, so it's there.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Seattle to present it to you personally, Auntie Dorothy. So I have to stop the recording because you know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the recording. Then I'm gonna leave it open to anybody to say anything to Auntie Dorothy. Okay. Well, before I stop the recording, thank you guys. It's been a long session. It's been a very entertaining session. Tino, fantastic job. All the speakers that contributed tonight. I mean, this was a well-run machine tonight. And I'm just so proud that, you know, you guys showed up. And I'm pretty sure when you watch the recordings and it's going to be played over and over on YouTube or whatever, people are going to say, damn, I missed that.
Alan, don't turn off the recording because I think people want to say something so they can be part of the recording.
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
is
this is historic. So go ahead.
Thank you, Edwina. Also, can we take a group picture? Again,
I don't know how to do that.
Well, I did a screenshot, but
Arnell, give us
Arnell,
instruction.
I have
So
to
we can-
I have to unpin everyone who's on the screen right now because these are everyone that we're going to present to Auntie Dorothy.
Julie's
So let
the
me turn
youngest.
that off.
Julie knows how to do technology.
Yeah, Julie, fix it,
Dr.
Julie.
I'm
Dr.
doing it.
Joni's here. Are you
Who?
here or
Is
in the
she
Philippines?
really?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, let's take the picture first and then we can start talking. Take the picture first.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, I have to brush my teeth.
Okay, this is a historic
Okay.
moment. Just a couple more. We're already over 3 hours now.
I know.
Don't put.
They're gonna
Don't
cut it
make any messages because it pops up on the screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to change the view. Give me a second.
All right, I'm gonna do mine.
There you go.
Okay. Oh,
Who's taking the picture?
Hey, Johnny.
Joni?
Okay, you taking the picture, Arnell?
Who's taking the picture?
I don't know. I can't.
I assigned it to Julie. I assigned it to. She's the
Okay,
youngest one.
I can take the picture. I'll take the picture.
Hey,
Y'all- is
Julie,
everyone
okay,
ready?
You
I
gotta
got
go
Julie.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
already
I'm gonna
got
count to
one.
3, and there's 2 windows, so you don't know which window you're in. So just keep smiling. 1, 2, 3.
Cheese. Remember, squeeze, compress.
Okay, I got one more window. Hold that smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Oh.
One more.
There you go.
Are y'all ready? Okay, one more.
I thought Dr. Tino did.
Well, someone just blacked out the screen.
All right, we're good.
Okay. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, because we only got
Thank
limited time
you.
on the Zoom. Just gotta make it quick.
I
wanna
have to turn this off because they're gonna just erase the whole thing, okay?
Go
Oh
ahead.
man, it's historic.
Thank you.